Go.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. This is another episode
of Ready to Be Accountable.
I am one half of your host, Rocky.
I am the second half, C-Note, the short guy without short supply.
And boy, the person, the energy,
the legend,
the soul that
the
we
legend,
have with us today, bro.
The divine being, brother.
I have mentioned this man on every single We Nasty podcast that I have ever had in the top 5.
Facts.
Anybody that comes through here, I try to put your name in the light because I believe for the city to be behind so many other musical, talented people, like, you should be at the forefront. And I'm in music. You know what I'm saying? So, bruh, the force that you have, the talent that you have, everything that you have as far as with the music is just beautiful. It's really unexplainable. It's just an essence in my eyes that I just have to respect. You know what I'm saying? Author. Arthur, Baltimore-born military kid. One of 5 siblings, 2-step, 2 biological. We have the one, the only, the great.
What's his name,
Sir Floyd Albert Thomas, a.k.a. Floyd in the Sky. Brother.
What's going on?
It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure, man. Like I said in the intro, like every single, I also do another podcast called We Nasty Podcast, and that one is kind of like pretty much music based. We get a lot of local artists around the city, and we give them an interview. But we have this thing called a top 5, and just having the local artists give us the top 5 local artists that they pay attention to. And every time I say it, your name comes out first. I just have to be, I'm like, I don't understand why the city is not behind you. I don't understand what is going on, but if we gonna get behind anybody, I have advocated for you, bro.
Of this being.
And just the music itself is beautiful, but this podcast right here is Ready to Be Accountable, and we kind of just focus more on the person and just kind of go a little bit deeper, you know what I'm saying, than what is presented just through the music, you know what I'm saying? So what caught my attention a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure you always hear the Andre 3000 comparison.
Okay.
And I have always been an Andre head. I always loved him when it comes to Outkast. I love them both, but Andre always stood out to me in more of a abstract way of expressing himself. And when I seen you, that's the only thing I was just like, wow. He's like Augusta's own Andre. Like, why haven't I haven't heard, like, who is this? You know what I'm saying? And as I start just asking around, looking more into your music, I just became more and more of a fan because it was nothing but high praise. It was nothing but just...
You don't hear nothing
don't hear nothing bad, right? You don't hear anything bad.
And on a different note, it's different for me because I've been knowing him a little longer.
Facts.
Because I know him from a whole different name.
Right. F Dirty. Like, everybody.
I know a whole different person. Okay. A whole different person.
Right. Because
like,
you was telling me.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he was a whole different person. He wasn't even the person he was now. He is today.
Facts. But one of the things I did want to ask you, and that's just coming from me, and I was doing some research, so to speak, and I found this, and I was just like, I have to ask on this because I have a soft spot for animals, okay? And let me just get into it. It said, help one animal a day. Go to your local animal shelter and make a donation of tennis balls or a bag of food. Or go to the park, spread bird seeds. I feel like when people take the time to go out of their way to do something kind for an innocent creature that could never repay them back in any way, then people will learn how to treat humans better without having an egotistical mindset of what do I get in return. It's just the right thing to do.
Damn.
Yeah,
bro.
Man.
I forgot I said that.
Bro, when I read that, I'm like, I have to like ask, where did the love of animals come from?
I mean, for me, which camera we at? We here, we there?
Oh, either one.
Either one.
Alright, so for me, really, my love of animals, it just came natural.
Okay.
My whole life I grew up with animals. I had dogs,
Right.
and stuff like that from like as far back as I can remember. But I think I innately get it from my mom. Like I remember being a toddler. Like when I said toddler, I mean, I'm like 3 years old, maybe even younger. I got really good memory for some reason. My baby life. But I'm like a toddler, and I remember my mom's outside doing something at the mailbox, and I'm like, we living in Germany, and I'm like, what you doing basically? And she's like, there's a dragonfly stuck in a spider web. She was like, and I'm finna get it out, because there wasn't even no spider there. It was just a leftover web,
Right.
and then the dragonfly was just in it, just, fucked up because his wings was caught.
Yeah, like he wasn't gonna get eaten. He was gonna die.
Yeah,
of starvation.
and so my mom, went out her way to take that time out of her day. She could have did anything else. She could have started cooking. She could have went to the store. She could have, got on the phone with one of her friends, anything. But it was important enough to her to, be like, hey, even though this is a bug, a life that's so, to the human perspective, minuscule and, to others insignificant, my mom didn't view that bug's life, in any of those type of ways. She was like, I'm going to save you.
Right.
Because you got life in you. It don't matter what body you in. You life if you animated.
Right.
And even if you're not animated, a soul could be still, and you wouldn't even know that it's there until, you heighten your senses to it. But basically, I think I just naturally get that from my mom, my love for animals and how could you not?
Right.
How could you not love animals? Like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I love animals.
I love them too. So
Yes.
Yeah.
and
like,
that's
how
what I was
could you
talking. I was
not?
like, bro, you don't get it. He loves, and like he got animals. He got pets, bro. Like I know, like he go above and beyond for him.
Bro,
Right.
Even like one of my biggest pet peeves in the animal world is roadkill. I feel so bad anytime I see anything that was killed by a car. If I drive by a possum, a raccoon, a squirrel, a deer, my reaction is always the same. I'm like, poor baby. Like, man, my bad that you had to go out like that.
Yeah,
And
I be hating that.
And then my thing is, I don't never let if it's in my power, dead or alive, I don't let an animal sit in the road. The most recent time I was coming up Central Avenue or whatever, and there was a whole ass possum hit by a fucking car, dead as shit, and I just feel like it's disrespectful to a body to keep getting ran over. So I literally got the fuck out the car, put on my blinkers. I run back up Central, and I shuffle this, heavy ass. This motherfucker was heavy. I ain't gonna count.
Damn.
But I had to shuffle this possum out the road because I just did not want it to get ran over no more.
That's what's up.
I be on shit like that. I'm always saving bugs, like when it rains and the worms be out. And then they don't know that the sun's finna come after that, and they just be on concrete, like finna be burnt up. I will go out my way to try to pick up as many of these worms and throw them in the grass as I can. I'm like, gee, you was finna die, and I gotta help you now.
Yeah, it's about to be over with. For
Yeah,
you,
so I just love animals, man. I get it naturally. I think I get it from my mom if I had to try to source it to anywhere, but
That's what's
I like
up.
that. I like that.
I like that. I really like that because, like I say, I think I'm one of them people who had to learn boundaries as far as like with giving people so much rope with you. I guess I was one of them people, and I still one of those folks. I always say I believe I can find the good in anybody.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you hear.
Especially if I understand your background, like I'd be like,
right,
I
or
understand.
even if I don't understand it, it's like
it's something in you.
I want to, right? I want to at least explore you to figure out, like, you know what I'm saying? What was it or what is it that you have presented to the world as positive? You know what I'm saying? Instead of whatever it may be that has you viewed the way you view. You feel me? So I mean, I definitely get it, and I guess that's why it, like, touched me so much when I read it. I'm like, I have to ask him because I just have that ever-giving heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think just through trauma, of just being alive in a world that is corrupt, we can't help but want to protect ourselves from those spots where we was hurt at.
Facts.
And then you do become more, like you said, you have thicker boundaries.
Yeah.
But, something that I never have boundaries with is animals. Like, no dog ever grew up to become Hitler, nigga.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
right.
Some people, might even take out of context, like, yo, Floyd, he'll go, and do the most about animals. But I'm just saying, people do fucked up shit.
Right.
Humans do fucked up shit. You know, I don't know a single dolphin that, you know, dropped a nuclear warhead on the whole fucking country that
Right.
ain't have shit to do with shit, and then left, you know, radiation, you know, staining the rest of the people for decades after they lived there. You know, like animals don't do stuff like that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the true animals is humans. Like, what's the last species of a creature that you knew killed the Great Barrier Reef off of the coast of Australia?
Right.
Humans did that
Yeah.
shit.
Facts.
You know, what's the last, you know, red fox that you saw that destroyed, you know, a high percentage of the fucking Amazon rainforest?
Okay.
Ain't no animal do that. That
Right.
was humans that did that shit.
Facts.
You know, so it's like the worst, you know, tragedies that we have on our planet is because humans did it.
Yep.
You know, but we quick to point a finger and call something else an uneducated beast. You know, and
Talk.
that's what I
Talk.
don't like. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, what if animals are actually so far ahead in wisdom that
Right.
they know it's unwise to do the practices that we do because it only leads to the outcomes that, you know, we've shown that we're capable
Yeah.
of.
All right.
You know, so that's why I
Facts.
go out my way to really bow down to animals, you know, and show my respect to, you know, the hand of the creator that made them in the way that they are and they state. Even at like Muslims, you know, some of their beliefs is that animals are always in a constant state of prayer. I picked that up somewhere. I don't remember where, but you know, it was brought to my attention in the Muslim, you know, beliefs. That's what they're taught, you know, at some point, that animals are in a constant state of worship. That's what it was. That's how they said it.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Because I think
never heard
they
that.
don't.
That's
They
what's up.
it's like we have the choice. They don't.
Yeah,
In a
just,
sense.
they just be aligned with the natural
Yeah.
flow of the energy. You know, humans could be all out of sorts with it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why. You know, anytime somebody be like, "Oh, it's just a dog," I'm like, "Bro, this dog ain't never, you know, blew up no damn body."
Facts.
You know, this
Facts.
dog ain't never destroyed the planet.
Facts.
You know,
Bruh.
humans did that.
I definitely understand that.
So
I always say humans go human.
Yeah.
I got that from our producer.
Yes.
Humans are going human, boy.
I
Oh
think,
my
I think
God.
they'll get better though. You
I
know,
hope so.
I like to keep faith to think that humans,
Yes.
you know, get a lot better.
Facts.
But so that's me, man. I really love natural energy, nature, animals, all that stuff that we could.
Boy.
I'll talk to y'all about animals forever.
Yeah.
Bruh, I love it. I love
Because
it.
I'll do it.
I love it because, like I say, ever since I got down, just seeing you from a fan perspective, I've always had, like, I don't even want to say like a connection, but it's always been just something that it was just like, bro, this dude is dope. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I say, when I met you at Nino's studio, I was like, now what are the chances of this shit happening? You know what I'm saying?
And it was crazy because I be
But-
talking about it. I used to talk. I still talk
Yeah,
about you
but
a lot.
Nino told me he did that on purpose because I talked about him so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, shit, just pull up. But he didn't tell me that he was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at this lizard.
Yeah, I've been watching the lizard the whole
Chasing
time.
a whole like.
Oh,
bug right now in the
yeah.
window.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh,
That's
man.
magnetism.
Yes, you
That's
feel
what
me?
that's called.
Bruh, all right. Now, when it comes to you as an artist, I seen that it's categorized as esoteric rap.
Yeah.
Okay, can you break that down for me? Because I for one didn't actually go into the definition to find out what it was, but I thought it was very interesting when I seen you listed under that genre.
So for me, I was more so doing a nod to emo rap, you know, and because emo just means emotional.
Right.
You know, so it was a nod to emo, but I was like, it's eso, because it's esoteric. You know, the things that I rap about, there's always a duality of existence, you know, if not a trifecta. You know what I mean? That's that Holy Trinity shit.
Right.
And, but, you know, to get to 3, you got to start at 2. To get to 2, you got to start at 1. Side note, sidebar, I always think, like, 1 is the biggest number of all the numbers because I feel like 1 is the number that births all the numbers.
Facts.
So you got to be mighty to contain all those numbers that come after within yourself, you know. But anyway.
I like that.
You
That's a
heal.
gem.
Yeah, so like esoteric rap for me, it's being able to fuse, you know, spiritual studies and practices into the you know, what we're used to hearing about. You know, like I could talk about cars, I could talk about jewelry, I could talk about, you know, all that shit that, you know, we fucking love and like, you know, it makes us lit. But I like to kind of Trojan, you know, horse people when it's like, yo, here's this thing that I package like some dope ass, slick talking shit that we love to hear. But if you really like look at the inside, that's where my real soldiers is at, and that's me talking about spirituality and God and the universe and switching through dimensions and different lifetimes and things like that I'm really able to try to give baby spoonfuls to those who are willing to participate in my words.
Facts. That's crazy.
That's what esoteric rap is. It's being able to blend the trendy with the mystery.
That's what's up.
Okay.
That's
I like
what's
that. I
up.
like that.
Side note, this ain't on here, but I want to ask you this question. Because we had a discussion, we had a panel the other night, and this was one of the questions. But since you just actually like spoke on it, I want to ask you, where do you think we go when we die? Do you think we jump dimensions? Because my thing and how we got started was I believe all of us have had like near-death experiences, and to me, I do believe in like parallel universes. So I said maybe in those near-death experiences in one of the universes we might have had passed on, but we're just consciously always in the active in the now.
Yeah.
So I would like to, what do you think happens with the soul when the flesh is no longer active?
I mean, in the simplest way I could put it, first I'm gonna start off by just saying like I'm not a pompous asshole in the sense of I think I just know everything in concrete. I don't ever want someone to listen to me talking about this nigga think you just know everything.
I feel like that sometimes too.
Yeah,
I be having to let them know.
So before anyone that might watch this later could say that, go ahead and 86 that ain't
right.
On, you know
Facts.
But the ideas and I guess they'll call it an inkling. I got like this feeling. How can you die? Like I don't believe in death. That's just not even a thing in my world or my mind. Like I don't understand. Who started scaring people, making them think that you could just not exist. One of the main rules of physics and science is that energy can't be destroyed.
Facts.
It can only be displaced, transferred, and move. If I was to, it's infinite, if I was to stomp my foot right now in this room, it would shake the floor. And that's my energy. It started here.
Right.
I stomped my foot. It shook the floor shook the door shook the roof shook the antenna. If a bug was on it, it shook the bug off. The bug got a fucking, jump start off that antenna. It went to something. It goes somewhere else, and it goes somewhere else, and it goes somewhere else. One of the things that I used to fascinate myself with when I was a child was I used to love holding up my sisters and my mom's like handheld mirror that they do with their hair with.
Okay.
I would hold that shit up to the bathroom mirror. And I was so fascinated when I saw that it's just mirrors within mirrors within mirrors within mirrors within mirrors within. And I would try to see how far into it I could look. But I feel like that's how different planes of reality are.
Facts.
It's just another one inside another one. It's kind of like a Matryoshka doll. Y'all familiar with that?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, so in Germany we had those because it's a big thing over in Europe, so it's like a doll. You open it, it's another one. You open it, it's another one. You open it, it's another one. And so it's just a lot of layers, man. So as far as where you go, I think that's up for you and the Most High to decide on like what you want to do next. What's your next mission? What's your next spiritual ambition that you would like to embark on for your own personal growth? But you're always somewhere, and that somewhere is always going to be here because wherever you are, it's always here.
Facts.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like and not here as in a sense of this longitude, latitude, but here in the sense of existing. Like you're gonna be here. You're always gonna be here. I believe in having spiritual families and spiritual teams. So people incarnate together, in multiple lifetimes. And I think that's why you have so many people that feel so familiar to each other.
Yes.
And it's my analogy for that would be like how, say if me and you, we working at, I don't know, let's say like, some job that we working at together, right?
Bet.
And the job be stagnant, it's labor intensive, but I rock with you because we always have a good time, and I rock with you because we always have a good time at the job. But some days we don't work the same, shift at the same as that time. So I might clock in at 10 o'clock. You might not get there until 1, and then we might be finna both leave at like 7, but this nigga come in at 6.
Right.
My point is, at a certain point, we all there together. You know, because
right.
we make the job happen together.
Right.
So I could be born a certain year, you know, and that's just when I clocked in. And then you could show up, you know, on your year, you clock in after, and then you clock in next. But no matter the fact that we clocked in at separate times, we all understood we're going to be working together that day.
Right.
You know, and so that's how I feel like reincarnation works with, you know, your spiritual troop that you always love to get the job done with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and that's why I think when people talk about the afterlife and passing on, that they see their loved ones waiting for them. Because it's like, what, nigga, you thought I was going to go to work without you?
Right.
Like,
Okay.
Whack as
Yeah.
hell.
That's a good way. I
like
never
that.
thought about
that
it.
boy,
Like,
I'm trying to tell you, I'm saying like, God damn, what he on?
I like that.
He on one, yeah.
So that's what I think happens, man. I think, you know, you do get a second to rest if you choose. I think you got some souls that are more antsy and, you know, what's the word? Eager to do more. I believe myself to be one of those spirits that's like, I don't like to rest. It's like I really be like, let me go work some more. Let me go work some more. You know, and I think that carries on with me into my physical form because my friends always tell me like, yo, you need to, you know, rest. You need to go to bed. You need to. But it's just not in my nature. I'm like, I got to keep moving. You know, there's more I could do.
Yeah. I feel like I ain't gonna be me if I don't keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's what happens. You know, if someone was to leave their body right now, the energy goes back to the source, and then, you know, they have a discussion about what they want to do next, and, you know, it's like, okay, well, if you want to do that job, you know, it's a little bit of a layover because you got to wait for the rest of the people that you're trying to have on your team to come with you. So, yeah, I think it's kind of like that.
That's what's
but
up.
These are just my ideas, you know.
Facts. Really cool.
Yeah, if it resonates, it resonates.
Yeah.
But not, you know, again, I'm not trying to speak like I just know everything.
Right.
It's just things that I feel within my personal
Righteous
sense of being.
Righteous.
Facts. Hell yeah. You got a question you want to get into?
You know, well, we gonna, you know, like I said, you know, just ready to be accountable. So, rings, you know, not on your music and nothing.
No, we could talk about whatever.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
I mean, we appreciate you.
It.
You know,
Real.
I feel like this is another brother that I feel like it don't matter have to be blood. This is a brother. I probably go, you know, afar, above and beyond for.
Facts.
But you know, for those who don't know, you do have an illness.
Yeah. So, sickle cell anemia, that's what I was born with. And it's crazy because a lot of people don't know about, is it 2 lizards now? Or is that, no, that's something, okay. So it's the same lizard still just out here hunting.
Right.
So it is 2 lizards.
Oh, man.
Okay, so now, it's
called
definitely
back
2
up.
geckos.
He didn't call back up.
Yeah, he was like, I couldn't get him, cuz.
We got 2 geckos out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love that. I really love it.
That's
Yeah, no, that's
beautiful.
definitely, I was like, is that the same? Okay, so anyway.
That's what's up.
So sickle cell anemia, in a nutshell, scientifically, it started in West Africa. It was a defense of the body responding to malaria and basically making whoever has sickle cell, immune to malaria. They can get bit up by 18 million malaria-carrying mosquitoes. They do not get infected. That's the scientific, thing. I got my own beliefs on where sickle cell came from. But basically what happens is your blood cells don't carry enough oxygen in them, so they mutate and morph into the shape of a crescent, aka a sickle, like a sight, like a crescent moon, and it makes your blood cells sharp, sticky, jagged, and they cling to each other. So instead of having these perfectly, cylindrical blood cells that are going through these tunnels, because it fits like that, what ends up happening is you have almost like a traffic jam in your veins, and you have multiple blood cells at one time, millions and billions of blood cells at one time. They try to get through this vein, but they all fighting each other to get through because they the wrong shape, and it causes the person who has that a tremendous amount of pain. Doctors say that it's the only physical pain that a human can experience is on par or worse than a woman giving birth.
Whew.
It's like, and you go through these things called sickle cell crises where you never know when you're going to start hurting. There's different triggers, so you can kind of get a gauge of what will affect your body in this way, but sometimes it just happens when it happens, and you don't know how long you're going to be hurting for. You don't know how hard you're going to be hurting for. It's just like you got to roll with it when it happens. It's something that mainly affects melanated people. It's not a thing that I've seen for someone of massive European descent to have.
Right.
It's mainly a melanated thing, sperm from Africa. King Tut had sickle cell.
Mm.
Yeah, he died young because he had sickle cell.
Mm-hmm.
It is something that has different tiers of it, like cancer. So you have sickle cell trait. The way you even create someone to have sickle cell disease is 2 carriers have to have sickle cell trait. It's like having half a dollar. You know,
Okay.
if you got 50 cent and you know your lover got 50 cent, y'all put it together, you got a damn good chance of having a dollar baby.
Right.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And that's how sickle cell is made. So 2 people with a trait can potentially make someone with the whole thing.
Gotcha.
And so if that does occur, then you'll have someone who can have either sickle cell SC, and then you can have someone who has sickle cell SS. Sickle cell SC is bad, but it's less severe than someone who has sickle cell SS. Doctors and people, you know, try to limit you a lot when you come out with sickle cell because it is a serious thing, you know. And honestly, if no one brought it up or mentioned it or asked me, they wouldn't even know that like I got that going on because I just don't carry myself in a way.
In that
sickness.
nature,
Yeah, it's like I've only gained strength through having sickle cell. I never had the type of parents that were like, well, you can't go outside and play because you know you're hurting and you got sickle cell. You can't do this because you just got the hospital. You gotta. They would literally nurse me back to health, wait for me to show signs that I'm straight. And the moment I talked about I wanted to go play, they said, well, fuck it, go do it.
Right.
You know, never let this shit hold you back and you go out there and you be strong.
Right.
And so that's the mentality I was blessed to, you know, be able to, you know, been given. I have met other people with sickle cell where it was the opposite for them. You know, their whole life it was just doctors telling them, hey, you can't go exercise every day. You know, the parents will tell you like, hey, I'll go grocery shopping for you. You don't got to do it, you know. And it cripples them.
Yeah,
Right.
I've seen that. I've seen a lot of that.
It cripples them. And so my parents never allowed that to happen to me. And so I can't take credit for this mentality solely, you know, but I do understand the gift that it is that I have and where it came from. Also, just naturally, I'm very ambitious and I don't like to be stopped. So there's that part. But, you know, focusing back in on sickle cell itself, I remember, you know, when I was a kid, I would be in the hospital a lot more. Like, I'd be in the hospital for, like, like 3-4 weeks, you know, sometimes. Laying in the bed, being pumped full of pain meds, you know, because my pain is that outstanding. Like, you wouldn't believe how bad it actually hurts. Like,
well, you said next to pregnancy.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, you know. I'm just going to be pretty transparent with that.
No, that's
like,
what we're here for.
Like, I've had broken bones before. Shit's worse than broken bones.
Damn.
Like, it's worse than broken bones. And the fucked up part is that nothing's broken. So you just hurting, you know, and it can affect any part of your body that got blood.
Let me gauge this, because we all men. How bad is it from getting your dick stuck in the zipper? Because that's probably the most extreme thing.
I had that happen. That ain't, your dick stuck in a zipper is nothing compared to sickle cell pain.
Oh my gosh.
Like your shit feels like, and matter of fact, and I'm glad you even brought that up. The way that sickle cell can affect men differently than how it affects women is a male with sickle cell can get what's called a priapism, and that's named after one of the Greek or Roman gods that was known for fertility and sex. I'm gonna tell you why they named it after him. What happens with a priapism is we all know how erections work.
Yeah.
Right.
You get a lot of blood flow to your dick traps it in there. That's what keeps your erection going. With a male that has sickle cell, he runs the risk of experiencing a few times through his life. I've had it happen to me. Is you'll get a non-sexually provoked erection that is not fun because it is absolutely painful. A bunch of cells that were sickling get trapped in your dick. They all just decide we're going to have a party here. Your dick gets hard, but it hurts. Like it's not fun. It's not something you're like, yeah, like this is great. This is joyful. No, it's like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And so you gotta, you know, there's different ways.
I want to fuck ever.
Yeah, there's different ways that you can cure that and remedy it. But basically, having a sickle cell crisis in your dick is what's happening, and that's fucked up, and that hurts too. But yeah, so I remember, you know, growing up, I didn't know a lot of people with sickle cell. I was always the only one, and my friends were very accepting of that. You know, they understood what it was. I've had to relearn how to walk, you know, at least like 3 to 4 times in my life because I was bedridden so long because I was just in pain that I wasn't using my legs enough and the muscles got weak, and I actually had to relearn how to walk like 3 to 4 times. And at a certain point in my life, I had my stepsister had started dating a dude named Brandon. I was like 12 years old, and Brandon has sickle cell SS, so the most severe version of it. And the crazy thing was, like, once I found that out, that gave us an instant common ground. But he was like in his mid-20s. I'm 12, so it ain't too much we could talk about.
Right.
But just me seeing how he carried himself, he was like fucking P. Diddy, nigga. Like, he was so smooth.
Yeah.
This nigga was always wearing Prada. He was always wearing, you know, Givenchy and just shit you ain't fucking know about for real. And he was a nigga
real
from
player.
Yeah, he was a nigga from the South, dressing like somebody that's, you know,
Up north.
on his
Yeah.
shit, you know, up north. And just a smooth ass dude, bro. And literally, he became my best friend, my hero, one of my idols. And I got older, we would hang out more, and I was turning 21. My birthday's in October, his is in September. He had just turned 35. And, you know, I'm going to speed up the story so I don't drag it out too much. But basically, he passed away from his, you know, sickle cell. He had organ failure because that's the thing that can happen. Your body's working really hard to make your blood work for you. And when you have sickle cell, it's basically like putting, you know, fucked up oil and gas in a car and running that bitch in a NASCAR 500, you know, for the Daytona. It's rough on him.
Yeah.
And so it could cause engine failure, organ failure. So some of his shit started fucking up, and that's what took him out. I got another best friend of mine named Chris, and he had an older brother that also had, you know, sickle cell, you know, to that degree. And I attended his funeral, you know, and so that did start fucking with me at a certain point, that I was attending all these sickle cell funerals, but for some reason it wasn't me. You know, and that would fuck with me a lot, and that's what they call survivor's remorse. Because I'm like, well, what the fuck make me so special? And then it would freak me out, you know, because I'm like, is that my story? But then I had to get hit, you know, real quick by God, and it was like, no, that's not your story. It's like, that's why, you know, it wasn't you in that position. But there is a lot I need you to take from seeing this up close and personal, and being able to have it and empathize. You know, it gave me the wisdom to become a voice, an educator, you know, a light, and a representative of the illness, but also of the inspiration, you know.
Right.
So, you know, I think that's my role with sickle cell right there, is that y'all see all the great things that I'm out here doing, and I do it every day with sickle cell. It's not a single day my body don't hurt. You know what I mean? Like, on some not rapper shit, I got a Percocet in my sock right now, just in case my body starts hurting, because you never know when it's gonna happen. You got niggas that be taking like perks and shit for fun, and for me it's just like, I've been on morphine and Dilaudid and Percocet since I was like fucking 2, bro. Like, this is just how I have to not, you know, shut down. Yeah. Like, cause shit gets real out here. But,
I believe.
Hell yeah.
You know, but all the amazing things I do, I want to be able to be that inspiration to others, to be like, hey, look, whatever you got your sights set on, you can achieve it, because I done been through hell, you know, and back, and I went back just for funsies, because I could, you know, just to show you that you can do it too. That's really what I'm about. So, feed a fucking animal. Yes, yes. And believe in yourself. Like, those are the 2 takeaways from, you know, our last 2 things. I was, you know, a bit more long-winded than I thought it was.
Right now, that's beautiful.
Man, you know, this is what it's here for. You get it out, you know, best way, and it's also to, you know, acknowledge everybody else who don't know nothing, you know, because I think I had knew that for a while, and I was like, a lot of people don't know that, you can't tell. Right.
Because when it was brought up to me, I was like, huh?
I done seen the people with that, and I see how they be. Like, they're not coming out their house like that. Yeah, they're not moving.
I'm outside.
I'm
an outside. Bro. I am outside. And it's like, you know, my friends and everyone that's around me in close quarters, they see how hard I go. Like, I could have just got out the hospital, you know, on like Monday. Let's just give easy math. I got out the hospital on Monday because my fucking legs was hurting. Man, come Tuesday, Wednesday, my ass is talking about going to the gym, and everyone's like, nah, you can't, you gotta like rest. And I'm like, yo, my legs hurt, ain't shit wrong with my arms, bro. I'm hitting arm day on God, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on whatever
like whatever not moving, whatever not hurting, we moving it.
Yeah. And we'll let the other body part chill, and then once that's done chilling, we're gonna put
that's how you work out anyway.
You know, and so I push myself to a high degree, and I'm not telling anyone else to push their stuff necessarily as hard as I do, because I am a bit absurd with it. Like, I could admit that. It's like, no, I go pretty fucking hard. And if you're not with me on a day-to-day basis, you wouldn't really know how hard I be pushing. But everyone else to show up in life day to day, they got to give 100% for it to be, graded at an A scale. For me, I got to give 200 just to appear I'm at 100. But niggas don't know that because I don't care to bore nobody with that.
Right.
Like who gives a fuck?
Well, you would think so, but like even when you was talking about like you wanted to become an educator and more of a voice for the sickle cell, like bro, I just learned so much just by listening to you talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You really just educated me on a lot of things I didn't know about the disease. And like even with the, you know what I'm saying, the erection thing, like that is my first time ever in life.
Yeah, I never heard nobody going deep because they don't, and you don't really ask them. You really don't really ask nobody because you look at them and be like how sick, but it's like a person like
people don't want to talk about it, especially dudes because it could be like kind of embarrassing or whatever. They like, oh, I got to talk about my dick right now. I got to talk about having an erection I can't control right now. That could be embarrassing.
Right.
But, when you're able to have this conversation in a mature manner and just talk about the facts of what's happening, like the only way to fix a priapism, if you bout it like that, you can just wait and suffer. Your dick going to be hard for like 3 hours, 4 hours, and it's just hurting.
God.
And you can do that, but nobody really chooses that option.
Right.
That's fucking crazy. So the next option, you could take some pain meds so that you don't feel it. Your erection's still gonna be there, but at least you don't feel it. All right, so that's another solution, and you just wait for it to go away. Another solution is for sickle cell patients, warm water. For some reason, it takes a tremendous amount of pain out of the process. No matter what body part is hurting, you could jump in a hot shower, and for some reason, that shit makes it feel so much better. I don't know the science behind that, but
because I was about to say, don't y'all be a little colder?
Hell yeah, because it's To answer the question, sure, but to not lose focus on what I'm trying to tell you right now. No, you good. I just don't want to lose track of where I'm at because I'll do it. But so another method to get rid of a priapism is you can hop in the shower, let some hot water run on it, and that'll help you out. Another thing you can do is you can masturbate because everyone knows after you ejaculate, then your dick's going to go back soft.
Right.
So basically, you're forcing it to go back soft. But here's the crazy part: it's not a fun
It's not right.
It fucking hurts to touch your dick. I've had to do it before. You know what I mean? Like so. It's not like, oh boy, I'm having the time of my life on Pornhub right now. It's like, no, nigga, like my dick, like
this shit hurts.
Like like as a sickle cell, person that's a male, like it could get crazy. So you can do that. Yeah, so you can do that, and hope that it works, and about 8 times out of 10 that'll work for you.
Yeah.
And so it alleviates all that pressure because you're losing the erection. And then the last thing you can do if you're like, yo, it hurts too bad to jack off or whatever, is you can get a dumbbell, and hopefully I'm giving somebody who's going to watch this, if they ever need this information, but you can get a dumbbell and start doing some bicep curls. Because what happens is when you work out, that muscle that you're working gets a pump. To get a pump, it means it's full of blood. To get that much blood, you gotta draw it from somewhere.
Yeah. So, that's smart.
So if your dick is what's maintaining all the blood right now, start lifting some dumbbells with your arms, and then it's going to force your body to need blood from somewhere else, and you'll lose the erection like that too.
Damn.
So that's just shit that you learn from being alive.
That's crazy. And like I guess I'm just like low key a geek when it comes to like new information. Yeah. I ain't even been. Usually I don't just sit back and not talk, bro. I have just been like in student mode, bro. I'm just maybe because I don't know, maybe because I always wanted to goddamn interview, you know what I'm saying, I have some type of interaction, like when we was down at Nino's studio or whatever, but it's just like with learning information I did not know, and it's coming from you, and it's just like shit, bro. I'm just like a sponge right now, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely I'm so glad you on here, cause bro, like you said, I hope this does help someone.
Yeah, at least if it's one person.
If it's nobody but one person, bro, cause trust me, I wouldn't have known what to do if I would have ran into somebody who had it,
Let me tell you something crazy. T-Boz from TLC.
Right.
Yeah, she got sickle cell.
Right, I heard that.
The thing that's wild is that when I was, born in this realm and all that, and I'm a toddler, like I said, I got immaculate memory of me being a baby.
Damn.
I don't know how, but I do. And so I remember one day, I can't be older than 3, and I was with my dad. I was running errands with him. Don't know where the fuck we was, but they had a magazine table where we were sitting at waiting. My dad hands it to me, because he's reading it, and then the thing that he saw, he said, "Hey, He said, you know T-Boz from that group TLC you like? Because I love TLC. I thought T-Boz was hot as shit.
Right.
You know, I would watch her on the Grammys, and I had a huge crush on her. My dad, he knew that. He said, hey, you know T-Boz from TLC? He said, well, she has sickle cell just like you. And that was the first time in my life I heard the words that someone had this just like me.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I didn't know what the fuck I had made me any different.
Right.
You know, but now I realize, oh, so the other kids don't be having to go to the hospital? They don't be hurting? They don't, you know?
Yeah.
So,
they don't miss out.
So the first person in the world that I knew was like me was Tion.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so I love that because she's been to where I want to go. You know, she's got the Grammy. She, you know, did the things to inspire others. And she, for me, was what I'm trying to be for the next 3-year-old that's fucking waiting with his dad. You know, that he's like, hey, you know Floyd in the Sky?
Right.
From Augusta? Well, he's got sickle cell just like you.
Yeah.
And so at that point, that kid's eyes are going to be wide, and it's like, oh, anything's possible then.
Fact.
Right.
Then nothing can stop me then.
Yeah, it's like if Floyd in the Sky got sickle cell and he made it up there,
Facts.
I can too then.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
So that's really what I be on with that, you know?
You need to think about becoming like an inspirational speaker, like on the side or something, bro.
You need more books.
Like, for real, I ain't even gonna lie, cause boy, just listening to you talk, just listening to everything that come along with this disease, or I don't even like calling it a disease, just another hurdle that, you know what I'm saying, you gotta go through.
I call it the King's disease, like Nas.
Right, okay, yeah, that's right.
It's the King's disease.
That's right. But just to see like how much you do outside of that, cause like I say, when he told me, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? What?" So just to see how much you do on top of that, and then learning more about it, and then learning like you say, you have to put 200 just to peer at 100. Yeah. Like, bro, this shit is so inspirational to me. It's just like, bro, I don't want to go to sleep now. Like, bro, I'm definitely got a lot of work to do. Yeah. Like, what the hell? Like, it's people who like us. I thank God I don't have like any disease or anything wrong with me. But then to turn around and be next to someone who does, and like there's no excuse, and like the grind is doubled, and like the pressure is doubled, when just being here is already double what you know what I'm saying? Like that shit, bro, this shit's crazy, bro. I'm like inspired to the max right now, just sitting, just listening. Like, I just feel like I ain't been doing enough.
You don't get he's sensitive with that shit.
Yeah, it's not a humble because
it's a flex.
It is not a flex. It's not like he's being arrogant. It's almost like, it's just like, I guess, confidence all encompassed in a being. You know what I'm saying? When you say, like, I don't get like you trying to shit on nobody or be like, I do this more than y'all, but I don't get that you like, oh, nigga, y'all not finna know I'm not the shit. You know what I'm saying? I am the shit, but let me let you know, like, that
but you ain't gonna know how hard or what I really go through to show y'all why I'm still the shit.
Facts. And learning more of this, bro, I just hope that it inspires somebody like it inspires me. Like, literally, I just don't see any excuses. I've never really been one for excuses, but I definitely not seeing no excuses or accepting it from anybody. Yeah. Like, how can you tell? There's no way. There's no way. For real.
And I also think probably me having sickle cell aids and my compassion for other things that can't be helped too. You know, going back to that first question of why, you know, I feel that way about animals and stuff. It's like, you know, animals, kids, whatever. It's, you know, it's like you just need compassion sometimes, because there's been times when I felt like I wasn't receiving enough compassion while I was in medical care. You know, like, yo, I'm really going through some shit that, you know, yo, doctorate degree having ass has only read books and pages about, but I'm the thing that the books and pages was written about.
What was I talking about earlier?
We was just having this conversation.
Yeah, it's like you read the pages, nigga, but the pages were based off of me.
Right.
So if you want some real intel,
talk to me.
What the fuck I got going
Facts.
on. So when I tell you, like, you know, relax on your tone and how you come into my room, and I need some more medicine, and if I just need you to care, bro, then think about why I need you to care.
Right.
You know, think about why I feel like you're not caring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I don't really ever want nothing that I come in contact with to feel like I don't care.
Gotcha.
You know, because I know what it feels like to be void of empathy. You know, so there's never a time I'm going to let an animal suffer. There's never a time I'm going to let really a person suffer. You know, if they unless they did some real fucked up shit.
Right.
Like if you hurt an animal, nigga, I gotta let you suffer.
Right. Like
Yeah,
what the
you gotta
hell?
take that,
Like, you know, review section 1, chapter 1.
Right. Facts.
You did it, man.
I
But-
feel you.
But yeah, no, I love showing love and spreading it and letting everyone know that I'm very conscious of how important it is that they're here in the same space that I'm in and vice versa.
Facts.
And that's why, you know, one of my newest records, Feeling is Gold, you know, I got this line where I say, share the air that I breathe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, walk the niggas that's feeling is gold. It's like, share the air that I breathe for real. Like, how beautiful is that we all in the same space, able to, you know, be here with each other. Like, that shit means a lot to me. Cause
Facts.
we could just not, you know, be here. So.
These are big
Yes.
facts.
You got another question?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, this next one, brother, is probably one of the ones I probably idolize you the most, because I ain't never seen a person evolve the way you did. You feel me? Like, and I'm a person that believes you could become somebody new every 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Every 5 years, I become a new person. But it was, I think, the route I was going, we was going at it at the same time, but yours was just flowing so beautifully. I was like, where were you to make that transition from F Dirty to now Floyd in the Sky?
So where I was, basically, you know, F Dirty left off probably when I was about 22. And I had went through a massive change in my life. Like, I had moved out of my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
I moved into my first apartment. I was in a long-term relationship, you know, with a female. And, you know, that was a trying process. It was my first time trying to, you know, just live outside of my parents' home. And I say it that way because it's like, when you're living at home with your parents, it's almost like you have to be that person that they're comfortable with you being
Yeah.
for so long, you know, that you kind of never get to look at your true self in full entirety.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you do move out and you're in your own space every day, you can take off that mask.
Right.
But when you do take off that mask, you start noticing different shit that you didn't know you had going on. Like, oh, I got a pimple right here.
Right.
I got, you know, so it's like you really get to look at yourself, and there's going to be things that you see that you're not happy about, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't even know it was going on because you hadn't been looking at yourself. You've been a character, an avatar for the comfort of your parents' home that you grew up in, because they judging you from a child's point.
Right.
That's how they view you, because you've been a baby the whole time, and you never felt comfortable to express the full capacity of yourself in its current state.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I had to do a lot of unloading between the time of 22 to 26. You know, like, I wasn't a happy person in that time frame. I didn't know my direction in that time frame. I had to get stripped of a lot of stuff, you know, and burnt down, you know, so I could build back up. And I remember I stopped recording music at that time because I didn't have the funds for it. You know, hell, I didn't even have the inspiration for it. You know, I was going through so much other shit. You know, I was losing sight of, myself, but I never lost a hold on myself. You know, so it's like, I was walking through the dark, I couldn't see me, but I always held my hand. You know, so I always knew where I was at, even though I couldn't see it. And in there, you know, when I started seeing the light, you know, on the other side of the tunnel, I was climbing out of that dark place, and I started listening to a lot of rock and roll music, classic rock. You know, we're talking like Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Prince, Stevie Nicks, Elton John, Freddie Mercury.
That boy name is something.
Yeah,
No, that's right.
I don't know if I already said Stevie Ray Vaughan, but he's amazing on the guitar. Bob Dylan. You know, really just deep diving into this whole scene of music that I never had, you know, in my life before, that classic rock era. And then I started, you know, I took some fucking mushrooms.
Okay. Okay. Shrooms.
There we go.
Like that shit happened, and I started getting super spiritually in tune. And because I've always been spiritually heightened, but I wasn't conscious of it and how it could happen and how to build it. then I started meeting magnificent people. You know, I met a mentor one time named Jonathan Wynn, an older dude that was Jewish. I'm like, you know, like I said, I'm like 23, 24. He's already like 32, something, you know, like that. And he would put me on so much philosophy and insight, and it really helped me out in that time too. And somewhere in all that I just explained, I came up with the name Floyd in the Sky, you know? And I think it just was to represent the elevated stance of myself that I was, you know, in now. And it makes sense really when I look back on it in hindsight, because if I was F dirty before, you know, it's kind of like, you know, being a seed, you know, it's like F dirty, you're low, you're down here, you're in the dirt. Right. But then, you know, I sprouted, I grew, and I stretched upward, you know, placing me to be elevated as Floyd in the Sky. You know, so that's duality, that journey, that path. But it wasn't, at the time, there was no correlation. I didn't think of it like that. It was just, I knew I wasn't that person that I was anymore.
Right.
You know, and then, and I went through a big depression where there was a time period for like 3 years almost, I felt like I thought I was dying. You know, like I really did. And every day I was living in that, you know, depression. It was a falsified reality. It wasn't true at all, but that's what I thought was happening. And it wasn't until like somewhere in that third year, around when I was 26, 27, I got tired of not fucking dying. I was like, yo, I could have swore
I was supposed to be dead, right?
It was like, but I kept waking up and I kept, you know, having more things to do.
Right.
And I was like, well, look, I feel like shit. I'm depressed, all these other things, but I ain't dead. And if I ain't dead, you know, then fuck it. I'm finna start making some music again. And that's what happened. Then I came up with this whole thing. I was like, well, shit. You know, even if at the time it's not true now, like I feel very alive. You know, I feel like I'm gonna be here for a super long time. You know, but it's like at that time stamp, I was like, well, shit. You know, if I when I was 26, I made it up in my head. I said, if I was dying at 26, I said I'm gonna die doing what I love, and that's making music. So I'm going back to the studio.
Facts.
And then that's when
thank God.
No, for real. Thank God for real. Because so the engineer that I've been, you know, working with since I was like 19. Some people know him as Triller. Some people know him as Spielberg.
Spielberg,
some people, you know, now know him as Spilly Ocean. His mama know him as Terrence.
Yeah,
right.
You know, but the thing is, he was my go-to guy when it came to my sound. And he had went through some bullshit where he went to jail.
Yeah, I remember that.
Saying, like,
everybody remember that.
The road for a second.
Yeah.
And you know, he was able to get out of that situation. I didn't know it. We hadn't talked to each other for years. I'm in Walmart on Bobby Jones one day, just bump into him, and I was like, Triller, you know what I mean? He was like, Dirty, what up? You know, and then we just like lean back up, you know, exchange numbers, and I picked it up, you know, while I sat it down, and I was like, let's start making some more music then.
Yeah, see, I know Triller from back when Dozy Illy.
Yeah.
So I used to do the song. I used to sing the hooks for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so I remember, you know, I got in the studio with him. I probably made like a couple songs. I made a song called Genjutsu.
Yeah.
I made a couple of unreleased tracks. But then by the 4th, 5th record, when I was getting back into what the fuck I was supposed to be doing, I made a song called Incredible.
I love that. Oh my God.
And that's the one that like got everyone's attention. It was
yes,
like, hey,
sir.
Floyd in the fucking Sky. Like this is you heard a song called Incredible, you know? And that's how I met Gip, you know, from Goody Mob. I was performing Incredible one night at Coyotes, doing an artist showcase, and he was one of the judges, you know, and basically when it came time to give out trophies, like physical trophies, you know, he was like, give that nigga the big trophy.
Yeah.
He was like, because the shit he just did on that stage was crazy. You know, it's a lot coming from a legend like that.
Right.
So, you know, Incredible definitely, I would say, was the pop-off of Floyd in the Sky. Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up.
Bro, because when I seen the name and I was like, that was the fitting right there. I was like, yeah, that's always fitted. That should have been his name in the beginning. But Floyd in the Sky. Yeah, because I was like, I guess I look at people.
The acronym. Floyd in the Sky.
Fits.
That's hard. Bruh, that's so fucking hard. That's hard. I like that shit.
Look at this man.
That shit is hard, bruh. That's like a chess move.
You fit,
like, that was like a chess move.
It was, man.
It does fit. right? Like,
but I looked at you, I was like, I could see where you going, and it wasn't even the route that everybody say you look like. I just like he got the likeness of him, but he ain't him because I understood who you were. Because I guess I got to know you on a little different personal level, so I understood. I don't know that man on no personal level.
Yeah,
yeah. So I know you and I know you Augusta, so it's different. We Georgia, but
right.
we Augusta.
Exactly. We got our own flavor, our own sound. Nothing like Atlanta.
Fact.
You know.
Hell
yeah. For real. And crazy because, all right, so speaking of incredible, that I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
Because, all right, I got a little list here. All right, so 2018, the EP of Floyd in the Sky released. 2021, Above Motive Mountain. Please tell me, did I say that right? I've been having so much trouble.
All right, it's Moldavite.
Wow.
Well, we were so over here.
God,
we were so over here.
Okay, so Above Moldavite Mountain, 2021, and I'm sorry, Cloud Light Vehicle came 2020.
Yeah,
and then Above Moldavite Mountain came in 2021, and now we here at Watchtower Maria in 2023.
Hey, bro, Watchtower Maria, you should have. Bro, when I watched you perform, because I don't know if you noticed when you be reposting the album right there in the front. I am right there.
Now I have to look.
I was like, look, I said, if you don't think I was there, when I see him, I'm going to keep pointing them all out. I was right there. It's me.
Yeah, well, all right, so what I wanted to ask you is, I seen on Above Moldavite Mountain that you was signed to M.Dot Global. Yeah. Or it was released from them.
At the time I was in partnership with M.Dot, yeah.
Okay. So my question to you is, how long did that partnership last? Because I noticed, fast forward to Watchtower Maria, that was released under Watchtower Maria Productions.
Yeah.
So give me the run.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to know, like, where did it go from? How long were you under M.Dot, and then the birth of Watchtower Maria Productions?
I would say, me and M.Dot, man, we was rocking together from the EP of Floyd in the Sky all the way up to Motorbike Mountain.
Okay.
But not too long after Motorbike Mountain, was released, me and his partnership, ended.
Okay.
But no shade on that. Like, that, taught me a lot. Working with M.Dot, he really educated me on so much shit.
Right.
That I was able to carry further along in my journey. So it ain't like no malice or no nothing like that. Like, nah, everything's gravy.
It was just time was up.
I mean, just the way that the story unfolded, it was like, all right, you go do that. You go do that. But if it I was educated a lot, by working in partnership with M.Dot. So. But yeah, so probably about like 4 years, about 3-4 years.
Yeah,
I think that was.
That's beautiful. That's a good. That's a standard.
And then May of this year, May 22nd of this year, Watchtower Maria Productions is birthed. What is the inspiration behind Watchtower Maria?
So I'll give the on paper story of how Watchtower Maria actually came about, and that was from the novel that I wrote called Above Motorbike Mountain.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that threw me. I'm sorry to interrupt. That threw me.
Yeah, because he told me, I'm like, he write a book.
I'm like, bro, I'm looking up and it's a book that's popping up, but it says it has his name here. Is he an author? I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, bro. This nigga crazy.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah, I wrote a book. So anyway, the main character in the book, her name is Ave.
Okay.
I named her Ave because I trickled spirituality all through that story. And her name is Ave because there's a very famous Catholic prayer called Ave Maria. And so her whole name would have been Ave Maria, but I didn't want it to be so just like, okay, you just named her after the prayer. So I named her Ave, but then to tie it together with its roots, there was a location that she visited in the story that was a watchtower. The watchtower needed a name. So I said, let's make it Maria. So this is, her, coming and finding the other part of herself, for real. Like, so it's a necessary stop in the journey. So once Ave makes it to, Watchtower Maria, you have the prayer, Ave Maria.
That's crazy.
So that's actually what, on paper, no pun intended, because we're talking about this book.
Right.
That's how that came into being. But it's wild that I always have a general idea and direction of what I'm finna do next.
Mm-hmm.
And Watchtower Maria, I wrote the book during COVID.
Right.
You know?
I noticed it was released. Yeah.
I wrote that book during COVID. Like, you know, I had a lot of time, as did everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
and I could really focus on it. So I remember I would be at the Savannah Rapids Pavilion Trail, and at the time I only had 2 dogs, and I would be walking them both with one hand,
Mm-hmm.
you know, on their leashes, and I would have my phone in my other hand,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm typing.
Yeah.
I'm just out here walking like 5 miles in the fucking springtime heat,
Mm-hmm.
just typing on my phone, getting the story together. Anytime I had a second it was basically like the longest song I ever wrote. That's what it felt like. It was like, this is a long ass.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that's
Siri be killing me.
yeah, it was like the longest song I ever wrote.
Fact.
But yeah, man. So that's where it comes from. Everybody, if you haven't already checked out the book, this is my shameless plug. Definitely
Yes.
Go check out the novel Above Moldavite Mountain.
$10 on Amazon.
Yeah,
That's
$10
it.
on Amazon.
That's it.
Boy, I'm on there.
Yeah, if you got Kindle, you know, I think it's like a little bit cheaper, but if you order the physical, you know, bring it to my next event, I'll sign it for you.
Bet.
I'll throw the
You
Watchtower
know we
stamp
need
on
that.
it.
Yeah.
Know we need
But
that.
I already knew that Watchtower Maria was going to be my next album, you know, back then when I made the book.
That's what's up.
You know, so it's funny that now we're here when Watchtower Maria is happening, but I knew this, you know, 3 years ago.
Right.
That's what's up. That's what's up. This whole interview is just, bro. I ain't never been just so taken back to like
top this one.
Right. Like I usually like to watch my interviews back where I think I've like posed good questions or had a good argument or a good stance. But I know I'm gonna just keep watching this just because I'm just so intrigued and trapped inside. Like you when you speak, it's not too like overtaken, and it's definitely not meek at all. And it's like it's almost like you just come along on this wave type, just, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's so inviting. It's almost like you can't say nothing while you talking. It's all I hate to interrupt you. I'm like,
to hear you.
I want to hear all of it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if everybody else enjoyed this as much as I did, but I know personally for me, this is probably gonna be one of my
personally
favorite
for me, just like
interviews.
you said, you had that in the making, and that's how it was for me. I already knew. I was like, I already was cool with bro, but I want to elevate with bro, cause I see we on this. I only fuck with like-minded or somebody doing like I tell him. I fuck with somebody that either we on the way there or you're better than me. And when I say you better than me, is you doing something I know I need to do right with my life. Yeah. So it was like I knew at some point I know I never wanted to do music with you because I felt like you was already gonna kill me. Anybody, even though I sing, it just was like. I ain't even there yet with music, but I knew just in life and what I wanted to do, I was like, I'll be able to have something where a talk show or something where I can have them on. Because that's like, essentially, I want to get to a talk show type of deal. You feel me? And like, just be able to talk like this on a real, that's what this really is for me. Facts. Like, I'm trying to get to a talk show shit. I want to be able to have an audience right there.
You can see it. That's
facts.
And like, it makes no sense that you could see it if you couldn't make it happen.
Right. Exactly.
How that even work? It's like, if I could see it, bro, that means it's so possible. Like, I'm
exactly.
looking at it. Like, it's in my head right now, but guess what? I'll bring it here to the physical plane where you can touch it.
Yep.
Facts.
Like I could see it.
Facts.
Like,
cause I was like, just off of me and bro, I was like, bro, I could see how big me and him gonna get. I knew how big me and him was gonna be because when we got fired together, being two broke fathers, and I learned when he said I don't give a fuck. All right, I don't get one either. Then let's go. Like, we gonna go. We took some trips. All right, so we pretty sure much know we really don't need money for a lot of shit. And then when we started this, it showed we don't need a lot of. We just needed to do it. We just needed to go.
That's it. Like, the amount of shit that I do, like, you know, something my mom always points out is that I'm always doing something. Like, there was a point where I was in fencing classes. Like,
shit.
Yeah, I was fencing down at the AUGUSTA Fencers Club for a little bit. I got into swords, you know. Then, because I wanted to, you know, here's a dude with sickle cell who's like, I'm finna go out here and fucking sword fight niggas. You know, it's like
that's gangster
it's
shit.
Like, so that's what I started doing because I wanted to. Then I was like, you know what else I want to do? I want to start training with boxers. So I started going down to the damn boxing club on Walton Way, off of Walton Way.
Right.
And you know, I would go in there and I'd spar around with the coach a little bit. Start getting my cardio up. Hats off to the boxers, like, cause them niggas really be like.
They different. They different, bro.
Be able to bounce around that ring on your tippy toes for all these minutes, for all these rounds. That shit is exhausting.
Yes, sir.
So I ain't gonna cap. I was like, nah.
Right.
I was like, yo, this is a bit much.
Yeah.
Then with the music, that speaks for itself because that's more in the public eye of something that I do.
Right.
But I was getting the music to take off and stuff again. I'm going to South by Southwest.
Yeah.
I'm linking up with Gorilla Zoe. Like that was crazy. How I linked up with Zoe.
Damn.
Like
didn't know.
That's my guy. That's my guy. So. All types of stuff was just going on. I started performing up in Atlanta at Stankonia Studios. I was, with an organization called the Playlist Academy. Basically they help keep artists sharp, and get them right for the big stage.
Okay.
So I would do shit like that. Then after that, I was like, hey, I'm finna write a book. And you tell niggas that you're writing a book, and it's like, okay. But then when you get the book done, they're like, nigga, you actually wrote a book.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, I told you I was gonna do it. After the book, when music shit started happening, I said I wanted to start flying airplanes. I announced that shit, and I slept on it for like a month, and I was like, all right, it's go time. And next thing you know, I started flying fucking airplanes and going to aviation school. And the thing is, it's like, I do all this because I don't ever want it to be something that someone feels like they couldn't do.
Right.
I'm like, I would do all the fucking things just to show you can do it. I'll do it at once. I'll do it at the same time. Just so you don't think that you can't. Like,
you're the only person stopping you.
So
you're a licensed pilot?
Now I'm working on it.
Oh, but you're in process to become that.
Oh, shit. That's what this hat is.
Oh, bro, it take a process because I thought about, I want to do it too. I want to do it too on the count of it.
I got some ways to go before I get my pilot's license, but...
How many hours you got to put in?
Depends on what level license you want.
Oh, see. Look,
what are you going after? Which level are you trying to?
So what my mindset is one, I would love to be able to fly myself to and fro to shows.
That would be hard.
It's shit. Like, I got a show in California. I'm in Augusta. I got Daniel Phil right here. Let me grab a plane. I'll be there in a couple hours. It's like, and I get back, in a couple hours. So I can go let my dogs out.
Right.
Like I ain't staying the night. I gotta do. I don't gotta wait on no layovers. I don't gotta wait on like nobody. I can fly the plane. I can fly myself. So I think that just gives you a skill set, that could just come in handy. So for me, I would like that. You might fuck around and catch me helping put out forest fires. I could be, like somebody who's like, oh, I got a plan. I got the skills. Y'all, with your forest on fire, let me come by. I dump some water on that shit.
Bet.
Crop dusting. Because also I'm always looking for more streams of revenue, to fuel my creative endeavors with. The whole idea of, if I just become a famous artist, that means I got all this money. No, it just means you're famous.
That's it.
TLC will teach you that. Like, just because you're famous, I mean you got money.
Right.
And it's in modern day sense, there's not a lot of money in the music game for real. Like unless you're doing a lot of shows. Or you selling a lot of merch. Right. Other than that, what you talking about getting rich off of Apple or Spotify?
Right. The boys.
That ain't happening.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I love those platforms. Yeah. But me saying the facts as how they are, you're not finna get rich off of streams, bro.
Facts.
And so that's why you got niggas like Jay-Z that he's like, I got Duce. I got money in art. I got money in other things because it helps him fuel his concerts and, things he might want for that. Same thing for, Rihanna. She's not just making bank off of shows and fucking streams. She's making bank off of her goddamn...
The Fendi line.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? You got Rick Ross. This nigga got like, more than 5 goddamn chicken shops.
Yeah.
He got Checkers, Wingstop, and I think something else. But
so the point, that I'm making is like, there's no shame in being an artist of any caliber, always open to finding more streams of income to fuel you being able to have that freedom as an artist to create.
Yep.
And so for me, it's like, bro, I'll fly this plane all around this motherfucker. You know, and you know, clock some dollars while I'm at it. And guess what? When I get done, I'm gonna throw y'all the best concert I can fucking do.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna give y'all the best album I could do because I could afford more studio time.
Mm-hmm.
So everything I do always comes back down to the music, or comes back up to the music rather.
Facts.
You know.
That's what's
beautiful,
up,
brother.
Boy, look, I have got there, had a time. I don't even want this shit to stop,
Yeah,
bro.
I know he got to get going.
But exactly, I know you already had prior, engagements. But I for one just want to thank you.
We got to do a part 2,
bro.
You know what?
From the
We gotta
bottom
get him
of
on the
my
We
heart.
Nasty so he can talk about the music.
I think part 2, I would like it to be the King of Augusta segment.
Oh hell
Okay.
yeah!
Because
Fucking right.
Okay.
You better goddamn boy. I'm stamping that with
Oh,
you.
God.
Goddamn right.
That's something that
Woo!
it started coming into my psyche. When I knew the album was about to be completed, because I started letting everybody know. I was like, I'm the King of Augusta. Like when it comes to this music, like that in particular, I was like, there's no who's better.
You running circles around a lot of niggas.
And that's the part where niggas could say, oh, well, now he's being cocky. Now he's being... It's like, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
I've been waiting for him to pop his shit.
I'm just saying, it's like,
Pop shit.
It's like, did you make a Watchtower Maria?
Right.
It's like, you did
Did you bring everybody out of the city? Like, everybody.
did.
Not just the hood niggas. Did you bring everybody out?
I was like, did you make it above Motorbike Mountain?
No.
Did you write a novel?
No.
Like, I mean, has anybody gotten your logo tattooed on them?
No.
Like, I don't...
You ain't got three bitches.
I seen them folk getting your logo tattooed.
Because it's a real and it's bigger than me. So it's like I mentioned them getting tattooed, but the amount of dedication and belief that someone has to have in something to be like, I'm gonna put your vision on my body,
right?
So I can remember it, and so anyone else who doesn't know can know about it just by encountering me. So I think that was a really selfless act for those friends and people that were like, we're gonna get this album logo on us for life.
The rest of you niggas gotta get paid. Pay these women.
And the thing is like, there's no other artist that has done what I'm doing from Augusta. Like, there's not. There's just simply not. Who got a... And niggas can get mad at this part, but here I go. It's like, who got a Pastor Troy tattoo? If anyone wanted to try to be like, well, Pastor Troy did... That nigga only made one caliber of music.
Right.
He made like some Crunk South shit.
Right.
If you listen to my album, no two songs sound the same.
Exactly.
I got shit you can play on every coast of the country.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Not just the South.
You do what you do.
It's like, when it comes to it, it's like the last person that I would even feel comfortable saying that, I am ambitious to want to become in the same light and status of is James Brown.
Yep. I was just finna say that. You better say James Brown.
As far as a singular artist from Augusta, Georgia, there is hands down nobody creating and doing the level of the shit that I'm doing.
Thank you.
You're almost at industry level, bro. You've been at that for a long time.
Yeah,
I've been saying this shit.
Why I kind of really need niggas to know it though.
I've been saying this shit, boy. I swear to God.
There's always gonna be that compassionate part of me, that easygoing part of me. But
of course.
I don't want that to ever overshadow the fact that, for real though, I actually am the King of Augusta.
Oh,
he is.
Better talk that shit.
And
better talk heavy.
And
period.
It's only gonna go higher than that.
Fucking right.
I know that because I wouldn't have it any other way.
Facts.
I can see it, and that's when it's done. The moment I can see it, I'm happening.
Oh,
man,
God,
little boy.
We don't even know who them is.
Bro, I'm so happy.
It takes motherfuckers with me.
Right.
Like on like the Moses theory.
And see how that. All right.
Hey, bro, I be walking. Look. Listen here, bro. Whatever you need, if you need me, call me. Bro.
Yeah, I'm not the crab in the bucket type. I'm the type where it's like, y'all want the world to know where Augusta's at. I want the world to know where Augusta's at.
Right.
I can only be as strong from here as y'all aid me to be.
Yep.
This isn't all my own strength. This
exactly.
is the multitude of people in the city that believe in me, support me, and root for me.
Facts.
And that's what it comes down to. I'm nothing in this light without Augusta, and I only plan to make sure that I can aim, lights harder back in Augusta's direction in return. To say thank you for looking at us. Now we're gonna shine on y'all. So that's what's going on here, and y'all ain't finna find nobody else for a long time that's gonna talk like me, walk like me,
okay,
make these songs happen like me. It's just not gonna happen.
Facts.
Oh God,
got it. Let's make something out of it.
Oh God,
I'm trying to tell you, where I ain't gonna lie. I for one ain't never been proud to say I'm from this city, nigga. But you have made me goddamn reconsider this shit. This king of
This the only
Augusta,
time I
nigga.
like
If you gonna be the
Augusta,
king of Augusta,
Floyd.
nigga, I'm proud. I'm proud to be from this motherfucking city, cause nigga, I'm sorry.
if
Everybody
they
that the city
king,
done got behind, and I done said it on numerous amount of podcasts, bro. Everybody that the city has gotten behind crashed out.
Yeah.
Everybody that the city has gotten behind has crashed out, bro.
I've been doing this since I was, 17 in the city.
Facts.
I've met them. They've come and they've gone.
Yes.
But you know who's been here to witness them come and go?
You.
Because I've been here the whole time.
Facts.
So I think that should speak for itself.
Hell yes.
Augusta has so much potential and it's unfolding. I'm gonna help it unfold. Like, nigga, we host the biggest golf tournament in the fucking
every year. Every year.
Bro, it's like Wimbledon, but for golf.
Right.
And it's here.
Right.
Like, what does that tell you? Like, out of all the places that these rich ass people could play golf at, why they pick this spot?
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a reason.
It's a market here.
Like, what is so special geographically and energetically about this spot that all these people who have the money, they have the hidden occult knowledge, they have all these things. Why did they decide this is the turf to do this thing at? And I don't have the answer for that yet.
Yeah.
One day I will, but what I do know is that lets me know that this is some fucking fertile soil and it grows things good.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna stick my roots in the ground here.
Facts.
And let's make something out of it. So
that's what's up, bro.
Augusta is gonna reign supreme for real.
That's what's up, and I'm right here behind you. I'm telling you, bro. I'm right here beside you. Whatever you need, bro. Like, I've always been a team player when it comes to this shit, and like I say, even though I'm in this space, now I don't even consider myself a part of your genre at all. And I've always said, I'm not sure why the city is not behind Floyd in the Sky, bro. Why are we not behind this nigga? Like, I have no idea, but I hope that this can change it. I really hope that this can change it, bro, for real.
Gonna change all that.
Most definitely, bro.
And the way your energy flowing, brother, like.
Hell yeah, bro. Is there any shout outs you want to get out, or any people you want to acknowledge before we get up out of here, bro?
I would just, like to thank everybody, that's in my life, in my closest part of my circles, to those that I just speak to in passing. Because all of it is a grand experience, and I'm just happy to be here. I would be nitpicking to try to say this person, that person. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, y'all let me, exist amongst y'all, and for that, I have a big amount of gratitude, and I would like to just thank everybody, and not even just in Augusta, not even just in the state, wherever you at, thank you. So that's the shout out. Shout out to life.
Facts.
For letting me be here and do the things that I'm doing.
Facts, bro. Oh my God, bro. Boy. As y'all can see, I have been taken back. I hope y'all have enjoyed this as much as I have enjoyed it, bro.
And I'm a fan.
This has been another episode of Ready to Be Accountable, featuring the King of Augusta,
the King,
Floyd in the fucking Sky, man. Let's go.
Oh God.
Shit.